And in India, more than 130 people were killed when a pedestrian bridge collapsed in the western state of Gujarat. Large crowds were celebrating a religious festival over the Machhu River when cables supporting the bridge snapped.
Survivors swimming to safety after the collapse of the pedestrian bridge. Others clinging to the cables and climbing up the remains of the bridge to escape the water. The accident happened in Morbi, a city in the western Indian state of Gujarat, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's home state. More than 100 people were on the structure when it collapsed.
Some were moving on the bridge and got injured, while others fell into the water. We started a rescue operation immediately and took the injured people to the hospital.
Authorities believe most of the victims are children, women and elderly people. Emergency responders from neighboring districts were deployed to the scene to help with rescue efforts. The accident comes just days after the 19th century colonial-era bridge was reopened to the public after renovations.
Our South Asia Bureau Chief, Amrita Chima, joins me now from Delhi. Amrita, what's the latest on the rescue operation?
Yeah, rescue operations have been going through the night, but of course it's been very challenging to find survivors at night. And now the rescue operation is in full swing with multiple agencies involved. The National Disaster Response Forces there. Various teams have been sent from the armed forces, from the Army, the Navy and the Air Force. Divers have been brought in, swimmers have been brought in. They've deployed amphibious boats to look for survivors, particularly survivors or bodies which may have gone downstream. And they're also using drones for this search and rescue operation. Now, one army official that I heard, he was talking about there being maybe several people, or rather more likely bodies, trapped under the debris of the collapsed bridge.
Now, the bridge had apparently just reopened after renovation works. Are there any doubts whether that bridge has been properly checked for safety?
Many doubts, Gerhard. In fact, that is the burning question. How could a bridge which had gone through months of renovations be opened and collapse within just days of the reopening? Now, there are obviously a lot of theories to that. People are also asking themselves, why were so many people allowed on a bridge? About 500 people are meant to have been on the bridge when it collapsed. Now, a special tribunal has been set up to investigate these questions, as well as a technical committee. Now, of course, they'll take some time to come up with their conclusions, but there are initial reports that a cable snapped under perhaps the sheer weight of the number of people on the bridge. And there are also very disturbing reports coming out. Reports which say that the company which actually renovated the bridge did not have a fitness certificate from the local municipal corporation. And then the question arises, why then did authorities allow people on the bridge? There are also reports that the maintenance company, which was looking after the bridge, opened the bridge ahead of schedule, and they used this holiday season to make a bit of money. They even issued tickets to people to go onto the bridge. Now, these are all very disturbing reports, and they need to be investigated.
Amrita, what's been the official reaction there to this huge loss of life?
There's been obviously the swift reaction from Prime Minister Narendra Modi. It is his state, Gujarat is his state, and he's actually there on a visit. He's made speeches about giving his sympathies and condolences to the next of kin. He says he shares the pain that the people of Morbi are feeling. He's also announced compensation for the next of kin for those who've died, as well as the Chief Minister has also offered compensation. And there have been, of course, reactions from politicians from across the political spectrum, all of them sharing the pain that the people in Morbi are feeling, and also, of course, asking questions how this could happen. So there's also a bit of a political blame game which has started. Experts say we have the policies, we have the framework. It's just a question of not being implemented properly. So we just have to wait and see what the investigation brings out.
DW South Asia Bureau Chief Amrita Chima there reporting from Delhi. Thank you very much, Amrita.